Good morning, children. In this video, we will be talking about the plant tissue. So, plant tissue are basically of two types, meristematic and the permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. Meristematic tissues are those tissues which have retained their power to divide, and they can divide continuously to produce new cells. They have large prominent nucleus and the cytoplasms are dense with nutritive material. Vacuoles are normally absent, whereas permanent tissues are those tissues which have lost their power to divide except the parenchyma cell. Now this meristematic tissue are of three types: apical meristematic tissue, intercalary and the lateral tissue. Apical tissues are basically present in the root tip and the shoot tip. In this diagram, root tip is there. In this root tip, this orange color cells are the meristematic tissue. They can divide actively and help in the growth of the root tip. In the center, quiescent zone is there. They are the inactive dividing cells. They do not divide, but when required, they start dividing and help in the growth of the root. Next is the shoot tip, where the apical meristem is present. In this, plumule is there, which have the meristematic cells. They can divide actively. When they are dividing, some of the cells are meristematic and some cells becomes permanent. From this meristematic apical meristems, some cells get separated. Here you can see this side and this side. From the apical meristem actively dividing cells, some cells get separated and in between permanent tissues are there. From this separated meristematic tissue, they give rise to intercalary and the lateral meristem. Okay, in the plumule region, meristematic cells are there. When they are dividing, they are forming the apical meristem and the permanent tissue. From the apical meristem, some of the actively dividing cells get separated, this side and this side you can see. And this separated meristematic tissue will now give rise to intercalary and the lateral meristem. Intercalary, this side they will give rise to the leaf or they will form the bud, and the lateral meristem they will help in increasing the thickness of the stem. So apical and the intercalary meristems are the primary meristem because they are formed first, whereas the lateral meristem they develop later, so they are known as secondary meristem. The next we will study is the permanent tissue. Permanent tissue are basically of two types, simple and the complex. Simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Simple are of three types, parenchyma, collenchyma and the sclerenchyma. Complex are of two types, xylem and the phloem. So in the complex permanent tissue, first of all we will deal with parenchyma tissue, which are living. They have thin wall. No depositions are there on the wall of the parenchyma cell. They are isodimetric, means all the sides are of same size. Shapes are variable. They can be oval, round, hexagonal or polygonal, and intercellular spaces are present. As you can see in this diagram, intercellars are present in the parenchyma cell. So this parenchyma cells are present, they are present in the cortex of the stem and the root, as well as in the mesophyll cells of the leaf. The function of this parenchyma tissue is to they help in the temporary storage of food. They act as a storage cell and help in the storage of food. Now two terms are there, chlorenchyma and the erenchyma. What is this chlorenchyma? If the parenchyma cell have chloroplast in them, then they will be known as chlorenchyma cell, and they help in the process of photosynthesis. If this parenchyma cell have air spaces in them, then they will be known as erenchyma cell, and they help the plant to float. Okay, parenchyma cells, if chloroplasts are there, they are the chlorenchyma cell, and if in parenchyma cell air spaces are there, then they will be known as erenchyma cells or the tissues. Next is the collenchyma. The next permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, is the collenchyma. Again, the shapes are variable. They are oval, rounded, hexagonal or polygonal. They have deposition of pectin, but only at the corners, not all over the walls. Depositions of pectins are there only at the corners, as you can see in this diagram. So where this collenchyma are present, they are present at the base of the petiole or at the base of the fruit. Collenchyma cells are there, and they provide mechanical strength to the plant. They help in the flowering. The leaves can move because of this collenchyma cells. Raw fruits do not fall off because of this collenchyma cells, because they provide mechanical strength. Yeah, the ripened fruits do fall off because of the abscisic acid, but that raw fruits do not fall off because of this collenchyma cells, because they provide mechanical strength and flexibility to the plant parts. Okay, again there is one more term, chlorenchyma. Just like the parenchyma cells, if the chlorenchyma have chloroplast in them, then they will be known as chlorenchyma cell, and they also help in the process of photosynthesis. Next is the sclerenchyma. Simple permanent tissue is the sclerenchyma. They are dead at maturity, means the lignin on the wall of the sclerenchyma, they have the deposition of lignin. Lignin depositions are there all over the wall, and because of the deposition, the cells become impermeable to water and the gases, as no exchange of the substance can take place. No exchange of the substance can take place. So the cells die. Ultimately the cells die. Basically the cytoplasm die. The cytoplasms die, and they form the lumen. When the cytoplasms die, they form the lumen, and you can see cell wall is there, lignin deposition is there all over the wall. So these were the simple permanent tissue, parenchyma, collenchyma and the sclerenchyma. Next is the complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue are of two types, xylem and the phloem. Xylem helps in the conduction of the water, whereas phloem help in the transportation of food to the various parts of the plant. First we will deal with the xylem here. So xylem, as this is a complex permanent tissue, so they are made up of different types of cells. That's why they are forming a complex tissue. All the cells which make up the xylem are called xylem elements. So xylem elements are vessels and tracheids, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Vessels are normally or generally found in the angiosperm, whereas tracheids are present in gymnosperm. Both vessels and tracheids are dead at maturity. Okay, xylem fibers are nothing but the sclerenchyma fibers. They are also dead. Xylem parenchyma are the living cells. They are the parenchyma cell. They are living. Okay, so here is the structure of a vessels, xylem vessels. They are long column like structure, that's why they help in the upward conduction of the water. They are placed one after the other and the walls are lignified. They also have the pits on the side wall. What is this pits? The area where lignin deposition is not there, they are known as the pits. So basically all over the wall lignin deposition is there. If there is absence of the lignin deposition, they are the pits, and these pits help in the sidewise conduction of the water. So vessels, xylem vessels help in the conduction of water both in the upward direction as well as in the sideward direction. Next is the xylem vessels we have studied, which are present in angiosperm. Now we will study about the xylem tracheids, which are present in gymnosperm. So xylem tracheids, in this this type of shape they have the tapering ends. You can see like this, they have the tapering ends, and the walls are again here lignified. They are dead at maturity, and they also have pits that are present on the wall and are connected with each other. You can see these pits are there, they are connected with each other. So in this tracheids, the water first move up, then sideways, up and the sideways direction. So in this way they help in the upward conduction of the water. The difference between the tracheids and the vessels are, in tracheids the lumen is wider, whereas in vessels the lumen is narrow. So these were the first complex permanent tissue, xylem. The next we will study the second complex permanent tissue is the phloem. Phloem, as we all know, they help in the transportation of food. So all the cells which form the phloem are the phloem elements, and the phloem elements are sieve tube or sieve cells. Sieve tubes are generally present in angiosperm, and sieve cells are present in gymnosperms. Second is the companion or the albuminous cells. Next is the phloem fibers, they are nothing but the sclerenchyma tissues, and the phloem parenchyma, which are the parenchyma tissue. Now one thing to be noted is sieve tube and the companion cells, they are known as the sister cells, and the sieve cells and albuminous cells are known as sister cells, which means if a cells divide into two, then one will form the sieve tube and the second will form the companion cells. That's why from a single cell two cells are forming, sieve tube and the companion cells, so they are the sister cells. If second cell is there, they divide, one will form the sieve cells and the second will form the albuminous cells, so they are known as the sister cells. Okay, now the sieve tubes, which are basically present in angiosperms, they are again column like long, and they have perforation on the upper side. Okay, on the upper side they have the perforation, and this perforation are all over the area. They are enucleated at maturity. And the sieve cells, they are also long, but perforations are not present all over the area, but only at certain area perforations are there. So these phloem elements phloem elements help in the transportation of food. So, this were the complex permanent tissue, xylem and the phloem. Thank you.